into my next Airbnb. It wasn't ready yet, so I just decided to go to Kailua Beach. The water here was insane. It literally felt like the Caribbean. I got a sandwich from this cute little market too. And then it was time to check into the Airbnb. The views here were incredible, and the Airbnb host had the cutest little golden doodles. And then the host told me about a little farmer's market that was going on in the town of Kailua. I think it's every Thursday night. And then I went to go watch the beach at Lanikai Beach. Apparently this is the best beach for sunrise, but it was still beautiful at sunset too. If you go anywhere in Oahu, let it be Buzz's Kailua. This was my favorite dinner of the whole trip. This fish was incredible, and their Mai Tais, I only had one and I was so drunk. I had to call it a night after that one Mai Tai. And then the next day, I did a whole North Shore day. First stop was Jenny Shrimp. It was fire. And then I had to get a coffee at the Bird's Nest Coffee. I got a macadamia latte. The macadamia lattes in Hawaii were literally insane. So good. And old hale'iwa village was so cute, but it was too hot for me to walk around, so I had to head to the beach. I stopped near Turtle Beach, but the actual name of the beach, I'll leave it here. But it was perfect. It was so cute. And then afterwards, I went back to old hale'iwa town to surf salsa. They make their own tortillas here. Get the hard shell fish taco. Thank me later. The drive was a little scary, I'm not gonna lie, so I had to head back to Honolulu/Waikiki to catch the sunset before the sun went down. I parked right at Barefoot Beach Cafe. There was all this parking over there. And this was my last night here, so I had to do one final sunset dip. This was a Friday night, and on Friday nights in Waikiki, they do fireworks right at the Hilton at like 7:30 or 8 p.m. And it was such a vibe. People just swim in the water and watch the fireworks, and it's truly iconic. For dinner, I went to Hula Grill just because I was already in Waikiki. It was pretty good, a little more on the touristy side, but it was a vibe. There was live music. And the next morning, I had a very relaxing morning at the Airbnb. And then I drove to the botanical gardens, but my first stop was Leonard's for malasadas, which were so good. And I had to get a coffee at this coffee shop that was right near Leonard's. If you're doing a solo trip, definitely go to the botanical gardens. I feel like it was the perfect activity to do solo, and it was so calming and peaceful to just drive around here and see all these beautiful views. I could have spent hours here just reading a book and relaxing, but I was starving, so I had to go get more poke bowl at Sato Seafood, and then I brought it to Waikiki. But there was like a whole street market festival going on, so I decided to walk around a little bit before my flight. And then I randomly ended up at this steakhouse called Strip Steak because one of my friends told me to go for happy hour because her friend works there. The food was actually really good, and they had a really good happy hour. And then it was time for me to go to the airport, sadly. This was the last sunset that I was able to catch before heading to my flight. If you're planning a solo trip here, definitely save this itinerary, and I hope you have the best time ever. Mwah.